The Great Cosmological Question: where did the universe come from? A question that both creationists and evolutionists have to answer. And in this video, I'm going to attempt to answer it. So where did the universe come from? There are two main schools with different answers we can look at when answering this question. Answer A is that the universe always existed, and answer B, that the universe had a beginning. In regards to answer A, in the past, scientists followed the first law of thermodynamics, which stated that mass energy could neither be created nor destroyed. So what does this mean? It means that our universe is eternally existing, with the universe and everything in it always existing in one form or another. However, this cannot be true, as there is one problem. The universe did in fact have a beginning, and this is due to the second law of thermodynamics, which explains that the amount of energy in the universe is running out. If the amount of energy is limited, then the universe could not have in fact existed forever, because by this point it would have already used up all available energy. Therefore, we have to go with answer B. This is great news for Christians, however it does not disprove evolution. In order to do that, we're going to have to dive a little bit deeper into the beginnings of the universe and how it came to be. The greatest problem for the atheist is, how did the universe begin? Now, the Big Bang Theory is often cited as a leading theory or idea of how the universe was created. However, there are multiple problems and issues with this theory. Firstly, how often do you see things, objects, people, or anything for that matter appearing out of nowhere? The answer? You don't. Yet atheists believe that they can make an exception to this rule and put the whole universe and everything in it into that exception. How can something explode out of nothing? And following that, when has an explosion under any circumstance created order and tranquility? They cause the exact opposite. They cause destruction, polar opposite of what atheists are wanting you to believe. The biggest problem with the Big Bang Theory is that it doesn't answer one simple question, and that is, how did life begin? Scientists have no idea how life started. This is made absolutely clear in evolutionist John Horgan's article in Scientific American titled, "Psst, don't tell the creationist, but scientists don't have a clue how life began." Even Darwin had no idea how life was created. He simply assumed that lightning struck a stagnant pool with the right chemicals, and guess what? Boom, life. But there is no evidence for that. Is it not more logical to simply believe we were created by a creator? The Bible says that the stars proclaim the work of God's hands. Is it not ironic then that Plato, a great philosopher, observed that there are two things that lead people to believe in God: the experience of the soul, and from the order and motion of the stars and all things under the dominion of the mind which ordered the universe. Even Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientific minds of all time, said, "When I look at the solar system, I see the earth at the right distance from the sun to receive the proper amount of heat and light. This did not happen by chance." Again, at Christianity Challenges the University, an international conference of theists and atheists, the following was stated: "The incredible design or order in the universe was overwhelming evidence for a divine plan and the existence of a divine planner." It has also been noted that if we look at the supposed 3.8 billion years scientists say life has been around in terms of a 24-hour day, in the space of 90 seconds, most animal and creature groups appear in the forms they currently are. They appear suddenly, not growing and evolving into something else, but instantly appearing as what they were meant to be. Robert Jastrow, an author of many important studies in astronomy, considers himself an agnostic, but argues that the evidence from astronomy demonstrates that the universe had a beginning at a certain moment in time and declared. Now see how the astronomical evidence leads to a biblical view of the origin of the world. He then continued, "The details differ, but the essential elements in astronomical and biblical accounts of Genesis are the same. The chain of events leading to man commenced suddenly and sharply at a definitive moment in time, in a flash of light and energy." Another large problem with the Big Bang Theory is how the planets themselves act, as well as their composition. We see this through the conservation of angular momentum. I'm just going to use an example to help me with this one. Remember merry-go-rounds? Put something on there and spin this merry-go-round as fast as you can in a clockwise direction. This is where the conservation of angular momentum comes into play. If the merry-go-round is spinning in a clockwise direction and the atom gets flung off of it, it will continue to spin in a clockwise direction until it hits resistance. So with this being said, the Big Bang happened and everything is supposed to spin out of it. It should all rotate in the same direction. Then let me ask you this: why do two planets spin backwards? 8 out of 91 known moons rotate backwards. Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune all have moons orbiting around in different directions. Why do some whole galaxies spin backwards? And why is the Sun 98% hydrogen and helium, while all the other planets in our solar system have less than 1%? Why do all of these planets have such incredibly different compositions if they all came from the same explosion? And it's because they didn't come from the same explosion. It was simply God showing off. It was Him stating, "Look at my greatness."